We are looking at the Ampero II Stage. I want to give you some first impressions, some design ideas, and I stumbled on some things that are not in the manual that I'm sure will help you out. So let's dig into it. I'm surprised that this unit didn't come out with the pedal attached like the original Ampero. And speaking about the pedal, let's look at the pedal here for a second. The connectors are on the side. I found that problematic when I went to connect a regular size TRS in there. So it was going to be this much farther away from the unit. Why not put the connectors at the top of the pedal? That way it's right next to where they are on the rear panel here. This little window, it's a little window you can see in. It doesn't really do anything, but I would like it to turn colors when I'm in wah or using volume. So I would like a color specific for volume and color specific for wah, so I know what setting that pedal's in. I ended up getting right angled TRS cables, obviously. Also, it would be nice if this pedal was the same length as the unit. This is 7 inches from here to here. Let's get that extra centimeter in there so the pedal's a little longer. It wouldn't hurt to have a longer pedal that's the same size as this unit. One thing that I found, I stumbled on by accident, if I'm in a setting, and I have the volume pedal down, if I happen to want to start scrolling, I get this momentary blast, which I'm not necessarily crazy about. There is a way around that. Being able to scroll in something I call the secondary editing screen. Let's go to that now. So if you're in editing, you can get to the secondary editing screen. This editing screen is nice because you can see what foot switch is assigned to which in here. And I can either bank up or down by holding or just tapping one at a time. And it won't change the parameter I'm on until I initiate it. So let me show you how that works. So let's say that I'm, let's go back down to the original setting here. So let's say I'm on it won't change until I initiate it to whatever bank I'm on. So that's really nice because that way you can scroll around, you know, without it sounding like this. You know, and so forth. Let's look at the rear of the unit real quick. Most of the time, most guitar players are used to having the very first connector as being the input for the guitar. Not a big deal, but that's the way it is. What I would like to see are two things on this back unit. On the back of the unit is we have one, two for expression, we have mono, send and return, all these letters and words on the bottom of the rear panel. What I would like to see is, I'd like to see them on the top. And I actually would like to go one step further and see them on the very top of the unit, because this is going to be predominantly on the floor for me. So having all the unbalanced, balance, USB, all this stuff, I want to see it. It'd be nice to see it up here, so I know what the unit, where everything is on the unit. Because once it's on that pedal board, it's kind of a hassle to have to go and look for those. Plus these XLR latches, this latch on the XLR right here, I'm familiar with them being up so that you can unlatch it, not down. So I would spin those 180 degrees. We got the sound blast. Let's look at the software. This is something that I would like to see. Looking at the software, I would like the ability to push and hold, and then just like I have style, rock, metal, pop, I'd like a color palette, because I want to be able to change these colors. That way I can organize it to lead or clean or whatever sounds. I can organize them, and the scenes, I'd like to organize those according to color as well. Volume-wise, when you have the volume button down, the volumes come up momentarily, and then when you have your Bluetooth, it's also connected. When I start to turn these, I'd like to see the volumes come up in this large window. I'd like to see large numbers there. Might as well take advantage of the screen. Plus, again, this is going to be on the floor, so that would be very helpful for me. We talked about the secondary edit window. One easy way, let's go back to firmware update, or when you're going to do the firmware update, you go into the global settings, you go into firmware settings. Sure, you can do all this where you're holding down the mode and 6 and 7 simultaneously as you then power the unit on. But what I found success is simply clicking on this folder. What you can then do is do a search for the bin file .bin, brings them up, and double click that and it'll do the firmware update for you. So that's convenient. The Bluetooth connection is relatively straightforward. Let's look at that here. So if I'm going to do, what you want to do is you want to make sure you click on Bluetooth here. Then you're going to want to go into Bluetooth. Make sure that the Ampero is picked. I always like to double check because I've run into this where it was not connected. Then you figure you could just go into the app and bring it on, but you can't. You have to go into settings, go into Bluetooth, control on, and then search. And then you can search for it here. There it is, and it brings it right up. One really cool thing about the software on the phone is that you can play audio files right from your phone and jam along with them. I'm just going to pick something random here. So you get the idea. So that's really cool. I really like that a lot. So all in all, I love the unit. Thank you, Hotone, for making all of your stuff. Sounds phenomenal. And over and above everything else, in addition to the fact that this is an extremely functional and intuitive unit, the one thing that I found more often than not is that I would be looking for a sound or a tone, and I would start working on music or writing something new that I wouldn't have normally thought of. And if you're buying music equipment and it makes you inspired to write music and play music, then that's kind of what it's all about. So thanks for watching. Looking forward to those comments. Have a great day. Go make some music.